Throughout the years, a number of things have characterized the Madison Church of Christ. First, there is the desire to reach more people with the good news of Jesus Christ. How many people do we want here at Madison? We always want just one more. Second, there's the belief that people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Well, for 6 decades, this church has been synonymous with helping people in need. From our children's home to our Christian care ministry, from Meals on Wheels to community day camp, the Madison Church looks for ways to meet needs no one else is meeting. The third thing that's always characterized Madison is a pioneering spirit. Firmly grounded in the absolute truth of Scripture, Madison has gone where no church has gone before, setting the pace for teaching, outreach, caring. With that marvelous heritage, we stand at the threshold of a new millennium, filled with the opportunities to do bold things for God's glory. Aiming to seize that opportunity, for the past 2.5 years, our eldership has overseen a massive planning effort called Vision 2000, using over 200 members on working committees and offering everyone opportunity for input. Vision 2000 produced a dream of 37 new and enhanced ministries to build upon our caring, reaching, pioneering heritage. Well, in the process of developing the vision, it became painfully obvious that our aging facility needed expansion and renovation. The most recent addition to our plant, the Family Life Center, is over 20 years old, and our new auditorium is 30 years old. Parts of our building complex are a half-century old and are in desperate need of replacement. Now, specifically, Vision 2000 outlined these physical needs. First, an expanded area for Bible school and daycare programs. For years, we dreamed of having a single Bible study hour to provide better learning and greater unity. Well, that change occurred last January, but our classes for most ages are bulging at the seams. For example, preschool and early childhood are extremely cramped. And 3 different adult classes are sharing the fellowship hall at the same time. Our daycare program has increased enrollment each year, and with an improved facility, we have the opportunity to double the number of children and revamp the program to be the best in Middle Tennessee. Next, a new learning center. For years, Sister Garner has done a wonderful job maintaining our church library, but for at least a decade, we've put off turning our library into a state-of-the-art learning center, equipped with computers, CD-ROMs, virtual reality, and the wonderful Bible-based software now available. Vision 2000 calls for a new learning center suitable for all ages to be the heart of our new campus. Third on our list of physical needs is the creation of a new Bixler Chapel. The current Bixler Chapel is no longer structurally sound and needs numerous repairs. The area below Bixler has been useless for over a decade, and some of the most valuable land on Gallatin Road looks like a prison yard. The new Bixler Chapel will seat 450, more than doubling its present capacity. It will also feature a beautiful interior fashioned from the stone of our current chapel. Fourth, a new Bible Land playground. Every child will beg to come to Sunday school to get a chance to play on our one-of-a-kind playground, depicting great scenes from the Bible. Part of that playground will be under glass, so we can use it year-round. Next is the creation of more fellowship area and improved access to all parts of our facility. Now, imagine for a moment you're a visitor to Madison. There are 3 things early on you'll notice. First, the lobbies are numerous, small, and crowded. You'll notice there is no central point of our campus. And 3, it is extremely difficult to find your way to Bible classes, or anywhere else for that matter. So by connecting our main lobbies and forming an oasis center with a mall effect, we'll tie our massive facility together. Not only will more fellowship area be created and a useful welcome center be put in place, every part of the building will be connected and easily accessible. Number 6 on the list is auditorium improvements. finishing what we started 4 years ago with new lighting, new sound, and windows that need to be installed in our auditorium. A new studio for Christian productions is needed for the creation of Spanish, Russian, family, and children's programming. Number 8, the consolidation of our benevolence ministries in a new building at the northeast end of our property that'll serve to simplify and unify those ministries. Number 9, the expansion of our Golden Age Village and Ira and Avon North Christian Care Villa that will allow us to accommodate more of our beloved senior saints. And finally, by consolidation of our ministerial offices, we'll make them more efficient, more accessible, and easier to find for our visitors. In a nutshell, the proposed plan for our campus equips us to physically fulfill the Vision 2000 dream. But it does even more. It allows us to pass on to our children the heritage of sacrifice and faith that was passed on to us.
I think Vision 2000 is the pathway, if you will, the chart of the course into the next century for this church. And every time we come to church here, and I've told Barbie this before, if we're coming to worship or we're coming just to fellowship with our friends or play volleyball, whatever, we're benefiting from the sacrifices and the dreams and the challenges that people met 40, 50 years ago. And I think a lot of that is what has inspired Vision 2000 in the building program now. And I'd like to think that maybe 40 or 50 years from now, when people look back and consider Vision 2000 and consider what we have done by the grace of God, with the help of God, that they too will be inspired and look to do something even greater than what is being done now. At least that's what I'd like to hope.
Being in on the front end of it and seeing it put together, the excitement began to build among the elders and seeing a vision out there. And it really got exciting about the time it was put together, and to have goals out there for our spiritual family. And two things I felt like were really important in it, that we were focusing on the family and strengthening the family, and also the goals for reaching out into the community and carrying the gospel to them. And I thought those were two magnificent parts of that vision.
Well, anytime that we do things to upgrade our church and to upgrade the programs of the church, it's going to affect all of the community and everybody around us, and is going to notice this, and this is going to cause our church to grow. It will have to grow.
What I'd like to see is that the church here becomes something like the synagogue was to the Jews. Everything centered around the synagogue. And I'd like for this to be the focal point, and for Vision 2000 to carry us to that point.
I think that computers are really exciting, and I really like Bible games and learning games, so I think the computer lab would be my favorite in the playground.
That is exciting to me. In a few years, they will be able to use that, the computers, and I'm excited about getting away from dittos and coloring sheets and being able to have hands-on, because the children are already learning through computers, and I think that they love it, and they will enjoy sitting down, and they will learn so much about God and enjoying it at the same time. So I'm thrilled about that.
What I think about the Vision 2000 is it's going to be a better church, and into the future I think we're going to have a lot more people, and more people are going to come to worship God here.
I think the future of this plan and the work that's done, and with God's will, and I'm sure that He expects us to follow through on this plan, and the future of it will be greater than the future that we experienced from the last big building program we had. I think our children will realize as they grow older that we were interested in their future, and we need Christian children that grow up to be Christian adults that'll be our tomorrow in serving God and the country.
I think that we're going to learn more about God, and it's just going to be a great church.
It's a marvelous vision, but how will it happen? Well, first and foremost, it will happen only with the power and blessing of God. If He is for us, nothing can defeat us. But God's power is channeled through willing human hearts. While the elders and ministers believe that God would have us move forward with this part of the vision, we also know that He leaves that decision up to us. Just as God didn't force the Israelites to go into the promised land, neither will He make us go into ours. It's our choice. On Sunday, November 19th, Celebration Sunday at the Grand Ole Opry House, each of us will have an opportunity to make a faith-based commitment of what you intend to give toward the Marching Into Tomorrow campaign over the next 3 years. Now, because we don't want to rob Peter to pay Paul and take away from current ministry, that commitment should be over and above what we give each Lord's Day. As was announced on Sunday, our elders have decided to go as far and as fast as we choose to go. So if we raise through gifts and pledges between $3 and $4.5 million, we'll break ground either later this year or early 1996 to create the new educational space, connect our lobbies for a new Oasis Center, build a new learning center, finish auditorium improvements, light, sound, and windows, create a better traffic flow, and begin work on the Bible Land Playground. If we receive pledges of between $4.5 to $6 million, we'll do all of the above, plus build a new chapel and television studio. If we receive pledges between $6 to $7 million, we plan to complete the entire facility plan during that 3-year period. This would include centralized benevolence facilities, expansion of the Golden Age Village, and the Ira and Avon North Christian Care Villa. Because many of us give substantially from our income each Sunday, we may need to consider other assets over which the Lord has made us stewards as potential gift sources. These assets may include stocks, bonds, life insurance, real estate, cash, tax refunds, irrevocable or revocable trust, jewelry, antiques, collectibles, art, coin or stamp collection, cash value of policies.
Well, if you weren't already enthused, I hope that through this video you're now tremendously excited about our Marching Into Tomorrow campaign. I think this is the greatest challenge and at the same time the greatest opportunity that we've had in over 6 decades of service to our Lord on this corner. As I think back on the heritage of faith and sacrifice that's always characterized Madison, we've met every challenge, and with the blessing and help of God, we've overcome that challenge. I thought about an old banknote that Jerry unearthed from our file. You know what this note is? It's a note of $2,000 owed to the Madison Bank and Trust Company by the Madison Church of Christ, dated November the 18th, 1935. That's 60 years ago. And the note was taken out to build Bixler Chapel. It's interesting, they say we agree to pay at least $100 every 90 days. And because there wasn't much of a credit rating for the Madison Church in those days, all 26 members of the church had to sign underneath there. You see names on there like Miss Opha Bixler, H.A. Beasley, Stan Lilly. Do you know that $2,000 in 1935 represents, using a common inflation rate, about $61,000 today? I wonder if 25 of us would be willing to put our names at the bottom of that note in order to make Vision 2000 come true. You're not being asked to sign a note, but we are asking you to make a commitment, a faith commitment just like our forefathers of faith here made, so that we can really march into tomorrow.
Tomorrow. You know, it's not really an option. If the Lord doesn't return today, tomorrow will come, just as surely as the sun rises in the east. The only option lies in what we do with it. We can sit back, let tomorrow come and go, taking with it every missed opportunity. Or we can march into tomorrow, boldly, confidently, and victoriously.